Hello traders, this is Kyle at Cayman Trading. Today we're going to look at CR charts and opening up a chart worksheet. So come down here to File, come to Open Chart Book, and we're going to select a currency pair and just take a look at it. So let's just choose the Euro CAD, go and click Open, and we're going to look at that. So we've got three windows that are opened. We've got a 240 minute, we've got a 120 minute, and a 60-minute chart open that we're kind of looking at. And these three windows will discuss those in different parts. But today we're going to be looking at the 60-minute. So let's go ahead and maximize the 60-minute. Let's just take a look at it at a clean chart. And here on the side, you can adjust the heights of the candles. And this will be determined. The chart will automatically adjust this depending on the range of the candles. And here we have the dates that you can arrange. I like to keep my 60-minute around a 7 or an 8. So here we have a clean chart. Kind of gives you the option to add some studies to it. So we're going to go up here to our studies, and we're going to add some pivot points. Now, these pivot points are automatic studies that are available free for anyone who uses CR charts. So you can go in there and add those to your charts and create a study for them. I've got four different studies on here. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at our studies. We've got the moving average. We've got a couple different moving averages. This moving average is our 22 and our 89. So this thick gray line is the 98, and this dotted gray line is our 22 moving average. I prefer those averages that the price bounces and goes around those quite nicely. So let's just work on going backwards. We can just go back in time. Let's talk about these daily pivot points. Okay, so starting right here, you can see it's the end of a Forex day. The length of the daily pivot lines are the length of a Forex day. And as we proceed, these are hourly candles, so as we proceed on, you can see that these support and resistance lines are automatically drawn and calculated onto your sheet for you. So, we're watching the price bounce around here, and more than not, the price will fluctuate and go and touch these support and resistance line. Come and bounce off this, come up here and touch this one. And these are automatically drawn on because they're a study through CR charts, and they make following and tracking your currency pair extremely easy. As you'll see here, it's coming up here to touch the weekly pivot point, and the blue lines are my weekly pivot points. So I have daily pivot points, which are these red, pink, and green, as well as these blue lines are the weekly. And if we adjust, you can see our R3 and R2 and R1 on our weekly pivot, weekly pivot, weekly pivot, weekly pivot. And more often than not, trading, the pricing is going to come around, bounce off of these, come down here, bounce off of this one, and so these pivot points act as support and resistance, and they're a really good tool. I really like the pivot points. They act as support and resistance and give you a guide to where the currency price is going to go throughout time. We'll just kind of scroll on. As you see, it just kind of bounces off here, comes below, pushes through R1 or S1, comes around, bounces around again around the pivot point, in between the pivot point and S1. It flows and tracks and changes it's recalculated each and every day. As you can see, there's some areas where it kind of bounces outside, but then you can rely on the weekly and see it comes around here, comes down and almost touches S2 of the weekly support, comes up here back to S1 and kind of bounces off that, and then returns to the daily central pivot point. So these are a great tool that I would recommend you get familiar with and learn how to use, because they're a great tool. If you've got any questions, email me or comment below. Thanks.